Yeah, welcome back. And if you've just joined us, you're watching Politics Today. And tonight we're focusing on the Edo State Governorship Election. Well, what we're going to do in this on this segment now is to try to analyze the results of that election for you to really understand why the results came out the way they did, and possibly why the governor won with such a landslide. Remember, 18 local government areas in Edo State, 3 senatorial districts, and the governor won in all 3 senatorial districts and also in all the 18 local government areas. For a start, areas I should say. For a start, there were actually 7 candidates running for the election, 7 of them. But just before we talk about these candidates, now I'm being joined on the program by 2 set of panelists. Chief Godwin Wazirike is a lawyer and also a political analyst, and I also have Bolade Manager, who is the news editor. He's an editor with Nation newspaper. Gentlemen, thank you very much for coming on the program.
Thank you.
There you have them, 7 candidates altogether. Let me start with you, Bolade. Did you, right from the very beginning, because of course it was all over the papers, all over the media, that yes, 7 candidates, but it was effectively a 2-horse race. Did you believe that?
No, there was no doubt about that. I mean, I was on this program earlier on, a fortnight ago. We said the same thing. It was ACN and PDP in the race. There was no doubt about that. It was clear.
ACN and PDP in the race. Chief Godwin Wazirike, you believe it was a 2-horse race ab initio?
Yeah, I think it was more of an assessment of ACN man and the PDP past and present. So it was face to face.
Yeah. So a 2-horse race between the PDP guy and the ACN guy. There you have the 2 of them. Adams Oshiomhole and Charles Ariavi of the PDP. But one man was in the middle, and that's Chief Tony Aneni. Tony Aneni was expected to play a very huge role in this election. Unfortunately, with the results we have seen, it just didn't play out that way. Bolade Manager.
Absolutely. He's been the godfather over the years. Since the Second Republic, people have known him to be effective on ground, and that he decided the direction of politics in Edo State. That has been, whether fair or foul, is a different matter. But it's always been somebody who was constant in the race. In the SDP days, in the Third Republic, he was the man. Thereafter, in the Fourth Republic, since the beginning, he became the chairman of the board of trustees. And some people gave him the sobriquet, Mr. Fix-It. So there's no doubt that in Edo State, he was seen as the man on ground, as the father of PDP in Edo State. So nobody knew Ariavi before the election. He came from nowhere. There are certain things that came up for him, that is from Edo South and so on. But people are focusing on Chief Aneni as the man who would decide the fate of the PDP in Edo State.
And eventually, Chief Godwin Wazirike, the Aneni factor didn't play out. And just as Bolade said, quite effectively during his campaign, Oshiomhole was really not campaigning against the PDP. He targeted his campaign at this man, Chief Tony Aneni. And would you say the outcome has demystified Chief Tony Aneni, the outcome of that election?
I think demystification is just a very gentle word. I think it dismantled the image which Chief Aneni had built from his NPN days. Remember, he was chairman of Bendel State NPN that took over power from the Professor Ali. Professor Ali was there, and then he took over. And remember, he was national chairman of SDP when Abiola won. And he was the same person who led the delegation to the president to renounce the victory. So for Adams Oshiomhole, I think he carefully identified who his opponent was. In all his campaigns, he said those who have held Edo State at gunpoint, those who have held them hostage, that he was there. He never really talked about General Ariavi, because General had always been a military man, an unknown factor. And also remember that when they were getting somebody from the Edo South, Adams from Edo North, Adams from the Mr. Fix-It from Edo Central.
Yeah, of course.
Adams had to fight the man in Edo Central in order to grab it, to demystify him, to deal with him in his own home, so that even if Ariavi won this, it will be 2-1.
And of course, we also must consider the fact that for Chief Tony Aneni too, there was a game being played. I mean, the PDP came up with a candidate from Edo South, and believing that the people of Edo South would be able to vote for one of their own. I mean, arriving from a Redo local government area, Benin to be precise. And Chief Anene too must have believed he would be able to hold on to Edo Central, right, Bolade?
Yes, he believed so.
So it was, this was a deliberate calculation that simply just went awry.
Yeah, it wasn't right. He lost everything. He lost even his word.
Okay, let us take a look at, the three senatorial districts now. The election was fought on the basis of three senatorial districts, 18 local government areas to be precise. There you have the map of Edo State, three senatorial districts, 192 wards. The total number of registered voters, of course, 1,655 1,655,776 votes. Of course, you wouldn't expect that this number would come out to vote on election day. But here you have the senatorial district. But as I said, one senatorial district was considered the battleground, and that would be Edo Central. That is where Chief Tony Anene comes from. On election day, the total number of voters, total number of people who came out to vote on election day, that's a total number of votes up for grabs, 311,126 votes. Now, let's see how the votes were shared. The ACN won 63,032 votes, the PDP getting 51,433 votes. Remember, Edo Central is where Chief Tony Anene comes from, and there you have it, Chief Godwin Azurike, the PDP losing Edo Central, that is supposed to be the battleground. Is this in any way surprising? How then could we, how would you say the people of Edo Central voted? They did not, do not forget, there was National Assembly election there last year, the ACN lost. But this time, the governorship, the ACN winning.
Chief Anene had always held his ground. The way we say it, we say that as far as they are concerned in Edo State, you can win anywhere, but you cannot go to Edo Central.
Exactly.
And to the shock of all, the man who held his own last year produced one senator, 2 members of the House of Reps, and others in the State House of Assembly. Remember, the man was supposed to even go beyond his own area. But this time, I think the king had been destroyed, in the sense that suddenly the masquerade has lost the mask. We have now seen that this man is actually a human being also.
Okay, Bolade, let me ask you, what do you think the people of Edo Central decided to vote for performance? Because before now, and there's no question at all, this governor has done quite a lot. Even in Edo Central, he's done quite a lot of things in Edo Central. We even understand, we know that for sure, that the road around Uromi that passes through Chief Tony Anene's house, he fixed it, fixed a number of roads and water projects there. So did the people just decide to queue up behind performance and put, tribe and ethnicity aside?
That's what I think, really. I think that's what played out this time around. Like you said, last year, the PDP still performed fairly well in Edo Central. But that was also because it wasn't too long that Comrade Oshiomhole came into office. Between then and now, he has had the opportunity of showing the people that really I'm a friend of the masses. And I understand that in Edo Central, for example, what they lack most is water. And he's been able to supply water into many places apart from roads too. So when people need something and you are able, first of all, to do your survey and identify what they need, and you supply it, and you show, look, I'm there for you. Then, I mean, the other man is not in a position to do it. And even when he was in a position to do it, because those other governments that he had already installed were unable to do the same for more than 10 years. So it's easy for Oshiomhole, who campaigned vigorously, hamlet to hamlet, village to village, town to town. He was able to tell them, we've done so much for you, we'll do much more.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Now, let's just tell you this, that Edo Central actually has 5 local government areas, and of course the ACN won Edo Central, all the local government areas in Edo Central, but in some local government areas it was a very, very close race. Very, very close. As a matter of fact, the margin now was so very close. Let us take a look at Ishan West, for instance. There you have it. The ACN getting 13,499 votes and the PDP getting 13,282 votes. you know, it was a tough fight, no doubt, Chief Goddy Wazirike. It was a tough fight for the... Look at the results, so very close.
Yeah, remember, Edo Central was designated a battleground. And besides, they have a big masquerade. And as far as I know, a big masquerade, you don't dethrone that masquerade easily. This man, Chief Anene, still has his own ground. Some of those who believed in him over the years, remember the ministers, the governor, former governor, all of them came from the same zone.
Exactly.
In fact, the only strong man from that place in another party is the former Foreign Affairs Minister, Tommy Kimi.
Yeah, from
it was like only Tommy Kimi on one side and all the heavyweights on the other. But I think Adams Oshiomhole clearly understood what the issues were. Ab initio, he faced it. Forced the issue of Anene's scorecard before his own people. And they were able to look back. Minister of Works, this and that, this and that.
And no development.
But this is our son. No. Remember the other side. This is our son. We will not disgrace him. So all those things came to play. And eventually, a small margin said, well, I think we better go with our head and not our heart.